see if this helps. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, by the way. I'm still trying to figure out how to make sure I can get the audio from the Google call as well as my microphone. I don't want it to be doubled up. Okay, it's right here. There you go. So these are feline greenies, Smart Bites or whatever. What does it say? It's chicken flavor, which is why he loves it. It's hairball control, which is why I love it. Oh, yeah, okay, see, now he's just trying to help himself. This is gonna get out of control real soon. So yeah, in the description to this video, there's a link to join the Google Meet. So I would love to meet your pets too, because, well, also Kitty doesn't get out very often, so this is his only chance to meet peers of the furry variety. Guess he hasn't had enough to eat today. He's going crazy on these treats. So yeah, one thing that's been going on, I know that in our last live stream, we had our drawing for our mid-month winners for our giveaway. Sorry, got a lot going on right now. So yes, we had our drawing, and I've already contacted the winners. They've gotten their prizes. Well, they haven't gotten their prizes. Their prizes have been ordered. But that doesn't mean it is too late. So for Mental Health Awareness Month, this month, how long do we have? 13 days. So you can still donate to a mental health nonprofit, and I will still enter you into the giveaway. We have 1 or 2 more drawings. We have 1 more day of drawing, which will be at the end of the month. I don't know if I might throw in another prize yet. Right now we just got our grand prize, which is the To Write Love on Her Arm subscription box. But I've still been getting in entries, and anyone who entered on the first half of the month who didn't win in our last drawing is still entered into the drawing for the giveaway at the end of the month. So make sure you get your entries in. Donate to a mental health nonprofit. NAMI is an easy one to find, and I think they are doubling all donations through this month anyway, so that can be a great way to get involved. And DM me your receipt for your donation, and that's all it takes for you to be entered into this giveaway. So please get involved. Please help raise awareness and support mental health advocacy by donating to one of these mental health or nonprofit organizations. Kitty's going crazy on this. You act like we don't feed you. We also temporarily have a turtle in the house. Saw him sunning himself on the back patio the other day, and the kids wanted to bring him in. I don't know if it's a him or her, actually. Wanted to bring it in, and so it's been hanging out in a cardboard box. Kitty does not seem to realize that he has a pet, so he's just basically ignored the turtle, and we're just trying to make sure. Turtles seem to be picky. I put in a bunch of vegetables. We put in strawberries because the last turtle that we had rent out our house for a couple of days really enjoyed strawberries for whatever reason. Oh, Kitty dropped one. He's going to go down and get it real quick. And I don't think it really did much with the strawberries either. So it's got water, it's got veggies, and it's got a nice big box to play around in, and we'll probably be letting it out soon. Kitty, up. Come on. Hey. So I'm running out of dumb tricks that Kitty can do. So if you all want to jump into this Google Meet, the link is in the description so that we can see some of your pets as well. I would love to get to meet some of your pets and see what they're all about. Come up. Oh yeah, now you're done? Up. You might be done eating. Let's see if I can get this angle better. You want the treats? There we go. Good kitty. I've been trying to train him to jump up when I hold treats out. Yeah, that's kind of cheating, but okay. You want to get up? Get up. So anyways, I talk a little bit while Kitty's figuring out what he's going to do. And hopefully, like I said, some of you all will join in on this Google Meet because I would love to meet both you and your pets. But yeah, so I've been doing a lot more content than I normally do. I think I'm at a rate of like 2 videos per week right now. Doing some reactions and just doing some normal kind of me talking at the camera videos. The latest one was about self-care, and that was a tough one for me to say because it's not an easy answer when it comes to self-care. I think we want it to be like just take a day off, just take a spa day, just take a vacation. But I think one of the commenters talked about how it's not always that easy, and the way that our work and our lives are structured, at least in the US right now, is really about stretching ourselves in almost every category, even our leisure activities. And so it becomes difficult to honestly have self-care even when we're engaging in family activities, sports, or anything like that. And so it is hard. It's a hard conversation that I have with my clients, that sometimes we do have to talk about really what is actually vital in terms of your values and your family, and what maybe has to take a backseat sometimes. What are some ways that we... Oh man. Google is calling me out. You're the only one here, so this call will end in less than 2 minutes. I want to stay in the call. Somebody please help me out here. No, it's cool. I don't mind showing Kitty off, but I think he needs to meet some people too. But yeah, so self-care is a challenging topic to talk about. I think it gets thrown around and kind of undersold a little bit. Hey, I don't know how to say that name. Aviar, maybe? Welcome to the live stream. I don't think I've seen your screen name before, so thank you so much for joining. I'm glad you could be here. Again, I'll reiterate, there is a Google Meet link that just tried to kick me out because I'm the only one in the call. But you all are welcome to join with your pets, and I would love to meet them, and that's kind of the purpose of today's live stream anyway, just to be more chill and be able to get to know some of you all, get to know some of your pets, and for you to be able to show off what they can do and what you all are doing just hanging out today. So one video that is in the works, I just finished editing it today, is an interview that I did with Dr. Leonora Rhodes. She was a doctor in the UK, and she had to give up her medical profession because she had 2 children who were suffering and struggling with chronic illness. And so she was very kind and vulnerable in coming onto the podcast, sharing her story, especially as a parent and a parent who's a doctor, what it felt like for her to be helpless and to be labeled by other doctors as wanting attention because she kept going to the hospital with her kids. And just her story of how she came through that and how her kids are all healthy now, and while they had some developmental delays and a lot of challenges because of their medical conditions, that they're doing well now, and it was just really encouraging to hear. And so she talks a lot about coping, parenting through chronic difficulties as a parent, and your sense of identity as a parent, especially a parent who's a doctor, who you would normally think, oh yeah, if I was a doctor, then this parenting thing would be easier. I could just diagnose my kids, or I could know what's wrong with them all the time. And no, that wasn't the case, as she found out the hard way. She felt just as helpless as any of us would be in that kind of situation. And that's why I think it was really important to be able to share that story, because we sometimes hold, certain professions are like, oh yeah, they would make a great parent. I think doctor gets to be one of them. Therapists probably get that label as well. And I'll say that I have my own struggles as a parent for sure. And being a therapist doesn't make you exempt from that. It doesn't even make you particularly great at handling that necessarily. It just really does hit different when it's your kids compared to somebody else's kids. So that's one video that's in the works. I think I was recommended by one of the actually a lot of commenters. There was one comment that got like 50 likes saying I should react to Ren's 1 million subscriber video. I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know what it's about, but apparently it was pretty impactful for a lot of people, and they think I should react to it. And then one thing that was kind of funny was that there was a commenter on one of the Ren videos that was saying like, how can you call it a reaction video if you've already seen it before? And I just was stuck in this place where like this person was very vehement about like, this is not a reaction video if you watched it already before, or maybe it's like not real or not true or whatever. And then it's like everybody else in that community is like, well, why haven't you watched all of this? Why are you not watching it in order? Why aren't you informed on the background and the context? And it's like, man, I can't make anybody happy. Like, I have to not know anything, but I also have to know everything. And, I'm just going to do my reaction videos the way that I can. I don't think I can make everyone happy, and I don't think that was the point of this channel anyway. And so I'm just gonna, I don't know if I'm gonna prep for this one. I think I know a decent amount about his background, being educated by the commenters who came over from his community and fan base, but also just from the stories that he's told in his music videos. So I am reasonably confident that I'll just be doing a first time watch and reaction for that one. Not because of that comment in particular, but I think that because it's not a music video, because he's not rapping over it, that maybe it'll be easier for me to follow the first time around instead of trying to get a sense of it lyrically and musically on a first watch and then reacting to it mental health wise on a second watch. Yeah. So Avi, you're saying living with several chronic medical and neurological and chronic depressive disorder. That is a lot. It's not easy, but it gets worked out over decades, not hours. Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right that, especially when we're talking about the medical field, we want things to have an easy answer. Like, take this pill, have this surgery, have this operation, and then, maybe there might be a recovery time afterwards, but okay, that'll take care of it. And just what I've noticed, especially with a lot of my clients who are dealing with chronic illnesses, not even necessarily mental health illnesses, but just chronic illnesses in general, that it's really a journey. And that sounds really cliche, but they have to go through it day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute. And especially for people who deal with chronic pain, one client in particular deals with chronic migraines, and there are some times when it flares up and it escalates, and it's really easy to lose hope that it'll ever get better. So That is definitely something that I've struggled with as a therapist to walk people through, because I would love to just have an answer for them. I just love to say, like, hey, let's do these tools. This will help stave off the depression. This will help stave off the frustration and make sure that, you're emotionally healthy while dealing with all this. And it's just not that simple either, because our mental and our physical health are so intertwined that if you're dealing with something without answer, something without any clear fix or solution for so long, that frustration, that grief at losing whatever your normal life used to be, can really wear on you, and that can lead to some complex trauma for some people. That can lead to really some depression, a sense of hopelessness, or a lack of efficacy that, like, well, no matter what I do, it's not going to get better. It's really, really challenging for a lot of my clients, and I do wish that there's something I could tell them and say, like, okay, yeah, do this, you'll be fine, and we'll just wait for your body to catch up and be physically okay, and then you'll be good to go. But it's just not the case. So it is one of the hard things with counseling, is being okay with your clients not being okay either. And that's something that I've had to learn as I've had more clients who are dealing with some of these chronic conditions and underdiagnosed and kind of invisible conditions. One of my clients has a very rare disorder that I think even some of their family members don't quite understand, and so will mischaracterize them as being lazy or shutting themselves away from the family. Truman Talks Treasure, welcome to the live stream. Appreciate you being here. And sometimes with schools also not understanding or not having the resources and wanting to dedicate the resources to making sure that a student who has to miss weeks at a time because they're just that incapacitated get their education, even though they deserve it. As, like, I think in America we treat education as a fundamental right to access that education, and that is just not happening for some of these clients that I have, because the school doesn't have the capacity or the resources or the desire to deal with something that complicated and come up with something that individualized. They want people to fit into a box of, like, hey, you come to school, do your work, get your grades, get educated, and everyone's happy. But that's just not possible for some of my clients. So that does become very difficult to navigate. I think Kitty's finally had enough treats. That's pretty amazing. You saw me give him a lot, though. You must have skipped dinner. Did you know this was going to happen? He does give hugs, too. Let me see if he's in the mood. Oh. And so this is, like, actually talking about pets. I think one thing that's really amazing about animals is that they can just sit with you through it all. And that there's no expectation beyond that, especially for, like, dogs and some cats, that they're not going to get uncomfortable with you being incapacitated or not wanting to talk or not wanting to be around people. They'll just plop down, sometimes dig their claws in and be willing to hang out. And sometimes that companionship can be so valuable for someone who just feels isolated and alone and nobody's got their backs. Oh, I have not heard that quote, but that does sound pretty accurate for the way we do education in the U.S., at least in some regions. So yeah, that's been something that's been on my mind a little bit, and so I was really glad to have Dr. Rhodes come on the channel and talk about that. And I don't think it's to the point where like she's introducing anything groundbreaking, but I think it is important for families who struggle with that kind of thing to be able to know that, hey, we're not the only ones going through it. And as is the case with Ren's stories and music, that there can be that reminder like, hey, I'm on the, maybe not fully on the other side, but like I'm past the worst of it and it does get better. And that reassurance that like, just get through today and the next day and the next day after that. And, we're here for you. We have a community for you and we'll be with you through all of that. And that is really important. That community aspect, the family aspect is super important to maybe have a measure of resiliency or a measure of hope and encouragement to draw on when it feels like you're running out yourself. So I was hoping that some people would hop onto this Google Meet and we would get to see some other animals today, but I think Kitty had to carry the show. So I've been experimenting on and off this month with the Google Meet and having people hop on and really having this be more interactive. I don't think that this is something that's going to stay long term. I was willing to try it, especially doing something kind of special for Mental Health Awareness Month, but it doesn't seem that, I don't know whether it's timing or whether people are just not interested in getting on camera themselves, which I can completely understand. But so my guess is that we're not going to try this again unless there's like a really good reason. But I'll still be making content, of course, and I'll still do the live streams. It just won't be on a Google Meet because that it's actually really a lot of juggling because I have the Google Meet running and I have OBS Studio, which is my streaming software, and I have the streaming software piggybacking the Google Meet and directing all of the hardware, the microphone, the camera in all the right places and posting that. So yeah, I think it was a good idea. I forget who suggested these different basically video chat opportunities, but I don't think we're there right now, which is totally fine. I'm not worried about that. It was worth a try. I did not remember when YouTube had video reply options. That's actually pretty interesting. Let's see. So this has been pretty much a sprint for the month of May in terms of recording videos, editing, doing the giveaway, which again, I'll make another plug for. If you donate to a mental health nonprofit this month, DM me the receipt and I'll enter you into a giveaway. We have at least one more prize to give out at the end of the month, and we might add another one at the end of that too. But yeah, so we'll just keep doing that. I haven't given much thought to what we're going to be doing after this month. It might be nice to slow up a little bit. Yes, Javier, I did do a reaction to Troubles. And I'm planning on reacting to his 1 million subscriber video soon. Apparently that's one that is definitely worth a watch. And so I'm going to be watching and reacting to that, I think on a first impression, not on a second watch. But yeah, I can still do the Ren reaction videos. I think the true crime, I don't know if that's played out for me. I think there was a lot with the Ruby Frankie and Jody Hildebrandt entire saga thing, and I don't know how much is left in that well to be mining for. And honestly, the other stuff on Law and Crime Network hasn't really caught my eye and doesn't seem to have much from a mental health perspective. So I think there's going to be a little bit of redirection for, oh yeah, there was a Piers Morgan recommendation. That one is definitely one that would take some research if I was reading it correctly. So got a couple ideas floating around that might be worth following up on. But anyways, like the mission of the channel remains the same. And it's to raise awareness and support advocacy in mental health, not just for like people to recognize that mental health is out there and it affects us, but also when you have a therapist, when you're looking for a therapist, how can you advocate for yourself? How can you make sure you're getting the quality of services that you need? And like this was really striking because one of the parents of one of the clients that I see, one who is really struggling, um, when I was talking to the parents separately, I knew they had a counselor of their own. They said, just point blank, like, I don't think my therapy's helping. And I was like, okay, have you talked to your therapist about this? Like, because they were listing very specific things that they were, I wouldn't say not happy with, but just felt like this is a pattern in therapy that is not working for me. Um, and so I strongly encourage that parent to talk through with their therapist, you know, hey, I've noticed this pattern, it's not working for me. And I told them, like, if your therapist handles it professionally, which they should not take offense at that. That should just be something that they're willing to engage and talk about. And so advocacy like that, I want clients to know that, you know, if you're seeing me, for example, that if I'm doing something that's not working for you, that you can bring that up to me and I won't be offended. I'm not going to get mad at you. And it's just like, okay, yeah, you're here to get better. And if I'm not providing that for you, we need to talk about what's going to help. So, um, okay, Truman Talks Treasure. That might be something that's worth getting into, talking about like someone who gets too deep into things. I might have to think a little bit about that. I don't know if we start classifying that as addiction quite yet, but I think I have a sense for what you're talking about. At least a couple people jump to mind. But like I said, the mission remains the same: advocacy within mental health and pulling back the curtain in some aspects around what therapy should be about, what it should look like, and maybe expanding people's views and conceptions about what it means to be seeing a therapist or to be taking care of your mental health. So, you know, regardless of what form that takes, whether it's pulling out little lessons and education from reaction videos or just doing a specific topical video, then or even sharing stories through the podcast format, we're gonna keep doing that. So not to worry, I'll figure something out. But yeah, like I said, thank you all so much for watching. I'll make one more plug for our giveaway for this month. That you know, if you donate to a mental health nonprofit this month, DM me the receipt. The Instagram or my email address is in my YouTube page description. So DM that to me and you'll be entered into the giveaway. Short story asks, do any of your clients watch your videos? Maybe these videos could help. I have not pushed my channel to any of my clients. I think that would be a boundary crossing that I'm not really ready for. And I don't try to make too much about being a YouTuber anyway. And so a lot of my friends that I hang out with normally don't know much about my channel. So it's not like I'm just talking about it all the time. And so that's just a way of kind of keeping my online and personal life separately. And also, of course, my online and professional life separate. Because I know that in terms of the benefit to me, if they happen to subscribe, if I happen to tell them to subscribe and they subscribe and all of this stuff, the benefit to me is relatively minimal, but it is me getting some benefit if they watch those videos because I'm getting a subscriber, I'm getting some views, and however marginal, I'm getting some income off of those views. And so I wouldn't want it to become an ethical situation where I'm using my practice to push my channel. I know it was mostly a joke, but I think it's important to talk about why I don't do that too. So if they happen to find my videos or my channel, then I can't do anything about that. You know, I can't block people before they get to my channel. And maybe they do find some benefit from it. And so I haven't had a situation where I have to navigate that issue yet, but I think that's going to be very interesting, uh, especially if a client were to reach out to me and say, I want to see you because I found your YouTube channel. I think that's going to be a very difficult conversation to have. Um, because honestly, even the person that I am, even talking as a therapist in my videos, is not exactly who you get when you're seeing me as your counselor. So I don't know. That is something that bears thinking about, and I'll probably have to have that conversation at some point, depending on how long this channel goes for. And one of the helpful things is that, it would have to be a client who is in Virginia anyway, because I'm only licensed in Virginia. And so if anyone contacts me from outside the state and says, I want to see you because I found you on YouTube, I can just say like, oh, I can't see you because you're in another state and I'm not licensed there. But I do appreciate you bringing up that issue, Short Story. And I know, like I said, I'm not trying to take it too seriously because I know you didn't intend it that way. But it is something that I will have to think about and navigate. And I think counselors will have to navigate as we have more of an online presence. There are more therapists who are making videos, who are trying to use that. Like, I've seen a lot of therapists who have short videos on their websites, either introducing themselves or talking about different issues that they have training in, as kind of a way to reach out and advertise and set themselves apart. So like if a therapist has special training in dealing with trauma, for example, they might have some educational videos about that on their website, and that's specifically as a medium to let clients know, or prospective clients know, hey, I'm trained in this. If you're looking for somebody who can work with this, give me a call. And I am specifically not using my channel to do that. And so that's where it'll be something that I have to navigate, but I'll figure that out. So yeah, well, I think that's going to do it for today. Looks like Kitty's done anyway, and I've got fur all over my clothes now too, so my wife's going to love that. And so I appreciate you all watching. If you're not subscribed, I don't know how you found this live stream, but please do subscribe. Please also do consider joining as a member. That does help the channel to grow, helps us to be able to pay for some of this fancy equipment where I can move the camera around and all of that stuff. And thank you all for watching, and I will see you all. When's my next video coming out? Probably at the beginning of next week. I'll see you all then. Oh, talking. Truman Talks Treasure. If I wade into the political sphere, I am not going to hear the end of it at all in the comment section. So that's something. Let's see. The other 3.5 years that isn't help deal with those folks we run into in real life could be helpful. It might be worth having like a communication video about how to talk with somebody who holds a different political opinion from us. I'll consider that too. That should be really interesting. But thanks for the suggestions, all of you, and I appreciate you tuning in. I'll see you all next time.